stepping out there and becoming yourself. And the more you encounter people, the more comfortable you become in yourself. I found my first few to be terrible, and some of them were okay, and some of them were not, because I was trying to be there, and hopefully I got that into you guys enough to not do that, which is exactly what you did. You're not the one doing it, you know. Also, you're not the one doing a good job. This is not a job, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a conduit, but you know what I mean. You mean to do a good job mean that you can be a conduit instead of you saying, right, okay, this is what you need to do. That's what you're going to do, and that's a disaster, right? So, okay, so I think we're going to start with anybody else have any updates you want to share just briefly? We're not going to make it too long of a session. I just want to go over
Not
the,
updates, but not updates, but I have a question.
yeah.
What do you do when somebody is asking you, well, what do I do? So I was having a
About?
conversation with actually my cousin, and it ended up almost being like a coaching session, right? But he was
Right.
like directly asking me, well, what would
I'm
you
listening.
do? Right. So then, and I know you're not supposed to technically give it advice, right? On like do XYZ. Like this is if I were you, I would take this course of action. So how do you handle a question like that? Well, what do I do? Like basically, if they're asking you outright, tell me exactly what I need to do. How do you
Mhm.
handle that question?
By asking them another question. Why do you think that I know exactly what you should do in your life? Who makes me
Mm,
the person that knows the answer to your question? Why do you think I'm that person? Who is that person that knows the question to every with certainty about if I mean, why me? Why do you think I have your answer? And they'll say, well, you're a coach, aren't you? I said, yes, but that's what I do. I listen and I guide you with your answers. It's about your truth, not my truth. It's about discovering your purpose in life and your answers, not mine. I could tell you to go jump off a bridge. Would you do it? Right. So why put all your faith in me? Where's the faith in yourself? Right. So we're not here to answer your questions by any means. What's the point then? I mean, who made you, right? Because they're going to come back to you and say, well, you see, I said what you should do. And that's why if you look at all my tools and techniques, none of them are to say, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that. It's all about inculcating in you the ability to think straight, heart, brain coherence, finding peace inside, finding quiet space inside, allowing life to be, all that kind of stuff. Decision making is flawed. There isn't a right decision to make about anything in life. Listen, should you have chicken or fish? Could you tell me? Could you tell me now? Should I have chicken or fish? Please tell me.
Yeah. Chicken.
Yeah, well, you see, that's where you get screwed saying that, right, Caroline? We've had this discussion many times, Caroline, right? And you probably then go have the fish anyway. You do the opposite. You'd be like, why is he telling me to have chicken? I think I'm going to have the fish. Anyway, Caroline, any of your thoughts? Is that okay, Miriam? Are you happy with that?
I just wondered how Maria had found the person, how they'd come to you. How did you get this person?
There is a story here because
Hold on, I missed
I know
something. Yeah, I missed that part. I just said, is that okay for you, Miriam? And then cut off. It's going to be a lot of that cutting off. So, Miriam, is that all right for you? Okay. Then, Maria, you said something. Or Caroline, you were saying something.
Caroline asked.
Okay. What did Caroline ask? Oh, how did you find
How
out?
she got the client?
How I got the client. Okay, this lady is the mom of a student I have. But I
Okay.
have a relationship with that child because 4 or 5 months ago I started doing a Rishad on her. I told Rishad about it. She had problems, and the girl has been transformed within 4 months.
But you
It's
can't
like,
give any details from now on, Miriam. Maria, you
okay,
know.
okay, but we have this. It's almost as if I passed an exam, and she knows that I did this thing, and I said we are trying now, people, and the way I said it is like, you will do me a favor if you want to have a session, because it's practice for me. No
Okay.
commitment, no. It was like that,
That's great.
Okay.
You're
Great.
truthful and good practice for you both. It's nice for her. You've got a relationship. It's good.
Caroline, any of your observations or thoughts before we get on with it?
I just noticed that I'm coaching all the time.
Fantastic.
I can't help it. I just talk to anybody. I just told the first person today that I've done a coaching course. I've not
Okay.
told any before.
Good. Good. That's good.
I told my hairdresser.
How did you feel about it?
I thought I'm not going to tell everybody after this. I think she was more interested in me actually. I think she stayed and chatted a bit longer. But that might have been my imagination. I don't know. I just noticed that I'm coaching all the time. People are coming to me with their problems, and I'm just listening to them and talking to them. And sometimes I'm blurting my opinions out. I can feel it, and I know as soon as I've done it. Oops, shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, good. Well, you'll get practice as long as you're not charging, because when you charge, that's when you're held accountable. So if it's just friends
No.
and you're chatting, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's just friends and family I'm chatting to.
Cool. All right. Well, today's session, for those, what I'm going to do is just do this so that I remember to edit from this point on for people that are going to be tuning in. So we covered quite a few things in coaching, and it was in Dino's conversation today that I had with him about what makes a good coach that I got real clarity from that. So number one, a great listener. Right? That's the most important thing. Number two, the ability to ask great questions or continuous questions or useful questions. So listening and questioning, the two most important skills that you have as a client. Now, listening means not being there. You've been through that in a lot of detail about just being the silent observer, witness, watching with your body, done that. That's what you guys have got. When we talk about listening, that's what it means in our circle. Then questioning. The questions that you ask are related to how they come to you rather than through your head, right? And the most powerful questions come from inside you, okay? And they're related to taking on where the person is rather than where you want to take them, right? Not where you want to take them, where the person is. Maria, for instance, beautifully said, "Where are you? How are you? I'm fine." But what did you say to her? You said, "What is
She
fine
said, I'm
mean to you?"
okay. She said, I'm okay. I said, what makes Anna okay?
Right. Or on top of that, you could say, which is an excellent question, what is okay to Hannah? Hannah, Mana, what's the name?
And
So,
Anna, yeah.
all right. So those kind of questions then lead to the next thing, and the next thing, your now, when you're trying to get them to move towards a certain point to reach a certain resolution. In the case of Miriam, taking the person to what should I do? What should I do about what? What are the issues that you have to deal with? What are some of the things that you have to do? What is it that you're not? So you're almost like reframing you're leading them to their answer. And that's where the question is probing them to. However, the secret is, and the trap is, that you should never take them where you think they should go. Because they'll surprise you every time. Because for instance, they'll say, "Well, my foot hurts because I got the wrong shoe size." It's irrelevant because I was buying shoes today, so I can talk about that. It'd be like, "Well, have you tried a different size?" Yeah. So did you try a different size? No. Now your mind is going, well, have you thought about taking a different size? Because you think that's the answer, right? Because you haven't taken a different size. All the time, it had nothing to do with the size. The reason why they haven't even asked for another size is because they're not even sure if they like the style, right? So then they'll say, so you'd say, well, have you thought about why haven't you taken a different size? Rather than, did you ask for a different size? Wouldn't that be the right thing to do? Now you're suggesting things based from your limited observation, and you don't know why they want to do that. Now, having said that, Maria, and Maria, especially now that you're on the ground, like with a client, most things are.
You froze.
What? We didn't hear you.
You're
You
back.
froze.
Yeah, you
Yeah, my connection died. What did you hear me saying last?
You were talking about Maria.
Not found
Right.
with the client.
Okay, good. Yeah, then you
Okay.
haven't missed too much of it. So most things are just blatantly simple. The reason why I'm telling you to be very careful, because it'll be most of the time it'll be quite obvious, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me? Okay. Most of the times it'll be just quite obvious, but I'm just saying, just always be careful that you don't assume you know and that you're leading them into that direction. So number one, oh, right. So the third thing is what we get to, which we didn't cover in the other calls, and that's why I want to talk about it now. Coach, right? The coach aspect. What's the definition of a coach? Right? I don't need you to give me one, but I'm going to tell you. A coach is somebody who helps you to get to the target that you want to achieve, right? So they're a motivator, they're an accountability partner, they've been there and done that already, not for themselves, but for others. That's why tennis players make terrible coaches. Sports people make terrible coaches. This was telling Dino, I said, because you're a corporate man, you'd make a terrible coach. He said, but I've got all the experience. I said, precisely. Right. So I've got a friend who's a medical doctor wanting to move out of medicine and getting to alternative healing. And I said, well, you'd be terrible at it because you're coming from a biased background, right? So what is a coach? A good coach does not mean he has perfected the craft. He has perfected her craft, which is the ability to coach, not the ability to play a sport, be successful. What most people make the fatal mistake is to look at the person and say, well, Maria, you're a great piano teacher, but are you a great piano player? Right? And the answer is irrelevant. Can I teach piano? Yes. Can I play piano? It doesn't matter, even if I can. But the world out there, that's why you look at my profile and I'm wearing a suit and carrying on like I'm the business, right? Like I know my shit and I'm the corporate guy, because that's what people want. They assume that's what you need to be. However, a Zen monk sitting in the mountain wearing a yellow garb, meditating for 8 hours a day would be a much more effective, you could say, therapist. Now that's the differentiation between a therapist and a coach, right? So as a therapist, you shouldn't come in with your bias. Now the coach part is that you've learned tools and techniques on how to keep people at their peak. Now, what kind of things do we cover? Health, well-being, success in business, relationships, inner peace, meditation, yoga, money matters, piano. The field is broad. Now, in our particular encounters, my expertise, because it's what I have been challenged with, that I perfected the art of doing, but I've not become the expert at it. Health, well-being, inner peace, joy and contentment, finding joy in every moment, all the stuff that you guys have encountered. Now, what I've been doing for all you guys is the same thing you're going to be doing for clients. So now the coaching aspect is, all right, so we've understood what your issue is because we've covered that. Now, what are we going to do about it? Now, you have my tools and techniques, which you're welcome to use. And eventually, as you get confident, you will customize your own thing. You'd say, Rashad did this, I can maybe add on this. Maybe a client would like to hear your voice in a daily practice. For instance, there's a giving love meditation that I used from my coach, which made me feel in love with the world and love with myself and love everywhere, which I'm going to record. A lot of the times, it also creates a real personal touch with the client when you're the person helping them and the other person they're listening to in their private time. See, that also adds to that. Not necessarily because sometimes, like, some clients may not find that. Like, women generally have no issue with it. Men would say, no, I'd rather a women's voice, or some women would say, I'd rather a man's voice, or too loud and aggressive, and someone may want that. So that's the other thing. So now, tools and techniques that you need to implement with them. Now, those are one aspect. Right? Someone is trying to join. How do I see who is trying to join? I can't seem to add that. I think someone's trying to join.
Should be Lizanne.
Yeah, but it didn't come up on my screen. It just says someone is trying to join. She's very late. I don't know. Can you tell Lizanne on the thing, if it is her trying to join, to cancel and try again, and hopefully it'll pop up on my screen this time? One of you. Maria, you can do it since you were quick. You were the first one there. So
She says she's trying to join. What does say?
say cancel and try again. Like, close the app and try again.
Okay.
So guys, there's three vital aspects. One, listening. Two, questioning. Three, coaching. You're all three. Okay. Now, broadly speaking, we could say that listening could be friend. I don't know if there's a career path to that, but the questioning part is definitely therapist, right? So a lot of the times your sessions would be therapy rather than coaching. Listening and being a good listener, I don't know what field they do that in, but it's across all fields, right? A good listener is good in a relationship, it's good in problem solving in organizations, whatever. So I don't know what the term for that is. But the second aspect of questioning and listening, you could say is therapy, right? Or psychotherapy in a way. But I don't like the word, because we're not only dealing with the psyche. We're looking at energy, we're looking beyond that, right? I haven't frozen, have I? No. Okay, you guys can hear me. So then the coaching aspect. So for instance, Maria says, I keep on getting distracted, and I really want to finish this document, right? Terrible example, because Maria is even better than me at finishing a document. Finishing a document, I can't do it. How do I do it? Right. Well, what do you have to do? Well, it's a 5,000 page document that I have to do by Monday. Okay, what have you done? X, Y, and Z, whatever. Why are they telling you about it? Because they can't seem to do it, right? So they need your help. So you, as an accountability partner, you have to set certain rules. And this is where I don't do in the beginning, but many coaches make them sign a document saying, deal is that you agree to take what I'm saying and implement it. Why do they do that? Because then what people do is they listen to you, and they don't get what they want, and they say there was a shit coach, right? And blame you. I didn't implement your practices, right? So what a lot of coaches do, which I don't do, because I don't do the corporate kind of stuff, and I don't mind being thought of as a shit coach or people talking about me badly, because that's going to happen anyway. I've already accepted that. It happens all the time. Right? So, but if you're not sure about yourself yet, then you make them sign a document saying, or make a verbal agreement, say, look, in the beginning or in stage 2 or stage 3, when you're starting the journey, that we have an agreement that you will undertake to do the practices and agree to the terms that we set out in order for you to achieve your goals. Otherwise, we can't do this, right? So then I say to the client, do you agree to allow me to hold you accountable for your benefit? Most people's ego minds takes that as a threat, that you're encroaching on their private space and you're trying to get into their faces, right? That's the ego resistance, because the ego doesn't want to change. It wants to keep you exactly where you are, so you can keep on complaining about all those things that you can't do, right? And that's where you got to learn the art of persuasion to say, you want to do this? Then we're going to have a deal. You're going to have to allow me to keep you accountable for your progress. It's not for my benefit. I have no interest in holding you accountable. And then you have to make them do something that they don't like to do. So then you ask them, what's something you don't like to do? Like my other client said, I hate running. I said, well, then you have to do this for the next 7 days. So I said, right, this is the deal. And what you do is when someone says they've got an overwhelming task, like Marie Kondo example that we use, I need to clean the whole house and I can't do it. There's too many rooms. Okay. I can't. Now you know what's going on. They're overwhelmed, right? And most of you may know this, or some of you don't. The emotion behind procrastination is fear. Procrastination is a direct result of fear. Fear of failure, fear of not achieving, fear of criticism, fear of whatever. So they procrastinate. I don't know what's happening with Lizanne. It's not coming up on my side, so I can't. Did she say anything?
She's not joining. She cannot join, so she's gonna see it recorded.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, no problem. So so then what you be knowing that they're procrastinating and they can't get it done because they're afraid of getting it done. You know that saying by I forget her name, but she says that your greatest fear is not that you'll fail, but that you'll be successful beyond your. Who? Sorry.
Marianne Williamson.
Marianne Williamson. I love her quotes. Marianne Williamson is incredible. If you guys haven't checked her out, you must. But from all the smiles you guys all have, so we're afraid of succeeding more than we are afraid of failing. So we procrastinate and pretend like we're useless because if we finish this task, then we will have nothing else to complain about, and our lives will be empty and meaningless. If I keep on saying I'm too busy and I've got too many clients, and I'm not speaking about anyone specifically here, and I can't keep up, then oh, I've got too many hours in the day, I just don't have the time. These are perfect distractions because you actually don't want success. It's a weird thing. You'll be, of course I want success. Why do you think I'm paying you? You're my coach. That's why I'm here. No, but it's not. It's another. But you don't tell them this. But this is what's actually going on. So you break it up for them and say. So then you need to find out if they really want it or not, because sometimes they don't really want it. They just because it makes them feel alive, right? So if they want to get it done, what will they do with their life next? This is important for you to ask them and for them to know. Now listen carefully what they say. Oh, well, when I get this done, then I can go travel the world. Yeah, that's a lie. That's not why you want to get this done, right? Or so that I can move on to my next project. No. You got to listen in carefully. Why do they want this? What's truly calling them? Is it something now? I think we covered this, but let me tell you again. There's a language. Moving away from and moving towards. Have you guys heard this? Maria, are you saying that you did? Maria?
I've heard that.
Okay.
Moving and moving,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So that should have been covered in the NLP course, I'm guessing. But either way, so someone, why do you want to do it? Oh, so that I can stop feeling so tired. So they're moving away from what they're doing. If they say, well, I want to do this so that I can go spend more time on this exciting project that I'm wanting to do, moving towards. Most people say, why do you want to clean the room? So that I can find my clothes, right? Now that's moving away from pain. That's not moving towards. If they say, I want to clear my room so that it is neat and tidy and I can find things more easily, that's again a positive. That's a big clue, by the way. This is a very, very big clue. Like I used that in the beginning of my coaching. I listen very carefully. Then I know where that person is. So they're just, so one is pleasure seeking and the other one is pain avoidance. Remember, that's all we're wired for. Two primary goals. So pleasure seeking is I want to do more things that we love. Pain avoidance is that so that I don't have to feel this way anymore. So that people don't have to tell me nonsense anymore. So that my mom doesn't keep on telling me to clean the room anymore, right? Pain avoidance, right? And that's a terrible motivator. So then what you need to do is to change that into a moving towards, going towards. So you say, well, imagine if we looked at it this way, that once the room is clean, that you'd be able to then go ahead and focus on your studies or that music project that you wanted to do. Would that also be something that could happen? Then they'd say yes. And slowly you're taking them away from the negative pain avoidance towards pleasure seeking. Let me give you a practical example here. And I use this all the time. You say to your son, right? You don't have to have a son. I was telling a man this. Say to your son, listen, son, you go clean the garage. And once the garage is clean, then you can move on to the next task, right? Otherwise, I'm going to lock you in your room and you're not going to be able to play with any of your friends. That's one option. Giving them pain and making them feel like this pain's never going to end. Many parents are like that because they're stuck in this kind of torturous mode. That's how they were raised. There's another option where you say, look, son, clean the garage. And as soon as it's done, now, instead of you saying clean the whole garage, you say, I'll tell you what, son, if you really want to get this thing done, if you don't want to have an ego match with him and you really want him to clean the garage, you say, right, son, I know it's a big task. It'll take you 4 hours. I'll tell you what, you do an hour today, just an hour. After an hour, you can go play with your friends and do whatever you want. And at night, you can do whatever you want. As long as tomorrow morning, you put in another hour. And after you finish those 4 hours, then I'm going to buy you a big X, Y, and Z. Right? Most people are like, no, well, now, how does that apply to you and your grown-up mind? You're exactly like a child. All your clients are children inside of them. What motivates them? So if you say, listen, if you don't get that 5,000-page thing done, what is the Greek Institute going to say about you, Maria? Right? Is that going to help? Right? Maria will be like, oh, I don't give a shit. Well, she does, but she's too afraid about the consequences, right? But then you say, Maria, you know, it's such a wonderful opportunity. Imagine how popular you'd be, all the good things. Now, there has to be reward. There must be reward in there. Now, all of this is outlined in a very good book that I say is compulsory reading, but I don't want to impose this on you, Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's like God gave him the name Clear as a last name, right? So Atomic Habits, James Clear. I've read a lot of books on the subject, and some go too detailed and whatever. There's also seven habits of successful people or something like that as well. Forget about it. Stick with this one. Atomic Habits has incorporated a lot from everywhere. So the secrets are, break it up into munchable, chewable, digestible bits. Set an exact time for how long the task should be. And then make sure you stop at that time. There's something I did this with Maria with the sleep patterns, right? In a way, if you think about it, right? So you must stop at 45 minutes. That's an order. When you finish 45 minutes, you cannot go for 46 minutes. So I got a client who's got major attention deficit disorder, and he had to finish a proposal, a massive proposal. And he said, Rashad, I can't do this. And it was a legal matter, and he had to do it. I said, all right, buddy, this is what you're going to do. 25 minutes, right? That's all I want you to do. Disconnect from this on the thing, 25 minutes, then message me. Then go for a walk, go to the fridge and have a beer, right? But you're not allowed to go to 26 minutes. That's an order, right? Exactly 25 minutes later, I want you to come back and do only 25 minutes. He said he worked for 7.5 hours. He said, I would kiss you if you were here. He got it done. Right? He got the thing done much more than he said, I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my word to you, right? You know the trick, Maria, right? Wink, wink, right? Sorry, I couldn't keep my word to you. I went over the 25 minutes. And then I don't tell them the game either. I'm like, come on, we had an agreement, didn't we? Right? You broke your word. I'm sorry, but look, I got it done. All right, but next time, don't do it. Maria, you can see that's the secret to how it all works, right? So we're laughing because I did something with Maria and sleep, and that worked well. Also, there was a great willingness and wantingness from her side as well. So that's the coaching part. And so I tell my clients, you got to do these meditations, especially in our work. It's not related to projects and tasks, although it can be. It's simple, like a person in their heads all the time, suffering, complaining, feeling sad, whatever. Get up in the morning, do this practice, and you give them just 3 or 4 meditations, because by now I think we've got, well, once and you guys need to go through the Joe Dispenza stuff. I mean, we're talking hundreds of meditations, so forget about that, right? And then in the beginning, ask me what you should give your clients so that we can talk about it and we give them a prescription. They are the standard things, which I have to redesign. My wife said the morning primer needs a rework, so I'm going to have to rework it as well, make it more prettier and more available. But it works. It seems to be working for many people, so that's fine. So morning primer, the affirmations, right? That we have as well, and the usual stuff that I've given to you guys, right? That's with most of the people you're going to find who are stuck in their heads, who are suffering in their lives, wanting. Not going to. You're not going to be targeting the professionals, successful professionals right now. And if you are, that's great. Well. There's also a market for that, which I work with as well. It's actually too easy. The corporate world is so easy, and they pay so much more. It's just that I don't get as much of a kick out of it as this kind of stuff, because corporate is easy. The kind of stuff that they deal with is very cut and paste package, goal setting, deadlines, and relationships, and conflict resolution and stuff. Yes, Miriam?
Sorry to interrupt you, but Abdallah is also stuck. Is there a way you can send them an invitation now as we are live? Because Lizanne is still asking if it's possible. You're recording here.
Can you 1 second? Yeah, let me just.
I reposted it, but I don't know.
What is the message they're getting?
Still waiting. He's got a picture.
Picture of him waiting.
Still waiting. Yeah, we'll try through my phone. Still waiting to join the meeting when somebody lets you in.
Oh, it's not coming up on
So he's
my
got a
side.
picture of him. You'll join the meeting when someone lets you in, and he's still waiting. And Lizanne too. So they're waiting to join.
Yeah, it's this shit connection I've got. Let me just try something again here. Yeah, that's the problem with traveling. Huh? You can never have it perfect. I need them to type their email address in. Sorry, my phone is outside because I'm trying to get the best signal. Can you ask them to type their email address in the, and then one of you, I think Abdullah's is AY Dutton. I can't even access my email on this thing. Everything's so slow. I need the email addresses. Lizanne, I need the spelling and all of that. Oh.
Do you want me to find them? I don't know if we've got them actually.
I just can't. Did any of them give you the email addresses? Please ask them.
Lizanne has.
Okay, can you type it, please?
And Abdallah. Where?
Please type it in the text box. On the right-hand side, there's a message thing.
Yeah. Can you do it, Caroline?
You doing that, Caroline? Okay, there we go. Lizanne, thank you, Miriam. Let me see how I can invite. Okay, hold on. Add people. And email. Okay, so Lizanne, I sent an email. Now Abdallah, AY Dutton. Tell them to check their email and see if they can get in from the link. Wow, this connection is so slow. Okay. I sent them both the invitation now. I don't know why it doesn't pop up. No, it just pops up and it says to me, let you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Sorry about that.
No, it's something with my connection where I am at the moment. It's just not allowing me to do that. Okay, so Lizanne should join us as well. Did Lizanne get the message to click on the link in the email?
Yes, she should have. I just saw it.
Were you off to Abdullah?
Just coming from a very, very, very interesting meeting, which is very exciting.
Related to
So-
coaching?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
Related to putting in a massive, great big software installation into some other building, which is very exciting.
Cool. All right. Well, Lizanne is going to get the invite, I think. Right. So, and of course, we're recording this so that we don't lose too much track of what we're saying here. So, recapping, Maria, you asked the question last, right? No. Okay.
I don't think I. No.
Oh, there's Lizanne. Hi, Lizanne. Sorry about that. I'm traveling and the system's not allowing me to add you. But good idea that I could invite you guys personally, which got you in there. How you doing, Lizanne?
I'm well. Yeah.
That's good. See,
Thank
that's
you.
you were just talking about a client that doesn't give you much information, Maria. She's like that. She's like nothing to say. I'm well. Yeah, that's it. Maria was just saying she got Lizanne to ask to be a really difficult client, and Lizanne said it's the quiet ones that are more difficult, and you're just doing the same thing.
I'm plugged in, Rashad. Yes.
Okay, good, cool.
Good.
So, just to recap, because we did cover it all. I've met, had calls with two people that I've been in touch with for a long time, Dino Carella and Otto. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's Austrian. These two are beautiful human beings that speak our language. You want to call it our language. As Maria was talking about these frequencies and stuff, they were both very excited to listen to what I have. So I'm setting up a thing called Awareness Conference. It's going to be an online webinar next week at some point. And all of you being awareness coaches will be participating and co-hosting this platform. And we're just going to have a good laugh, good conversation, asking ridiculous questions, making ridiculous observations, being who we always were and who always are. Things are getting to another level that's very exciting. And so we'll arrange that. You're all frozen on my side, but you can hear me. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. And if you guys can get your profiles up ASAP, that'll be really good. Even if it's a really shitty one, I don't care. Just put the word coach in front of your name, Zen Coach ideally. We're also looking at, because now I see people are practicing, not using the Zen Coach name, but they've been coached by me, but they don't want to spend the money on going through the coaching, and they're saying they're coaches. But of course, they're not using the Zen Coach or using my thing, which pisses me off because it does sort of, yeah, I don't particularly like that way of approaching it, but I can't stop people. So of course, if they can't afford it and whatever else there is, let them do it. But so then, yeah, there's we're going to be doing online webinars and bringing to the world this thing that we have that we can't describe. People have to encounter you. All of you have to be seen by people, and then those people that speak your frequency, your language, which does not use words, which you all are, because I've grilled you guys like a grilled sardine, and you guys are ready. let them see it in you. If you keep on questioning yourself and saying, I don't have it, and I'm going to have to spank you for that. So, right? Because you got it. Otherwise, I'd never let you through because I'm ruthless, right? So, yeah. So you made it this far. It's time for you to encounter yourself. Allow the world to see yourself, because the person that watches you more than anybody else could out there is yourself. The difference is now, instead of you looking at yourself critically from the wrong point of view, you're looking at yourself from the awareness point of view, which is exactly what I want the world to see, that what aware people are. And when you encounter other aware people, you'll realize that they've got the same thing in you that you have, right? You'll notice this, but you won't know what I'm talking about yet. Some of you will have an inkling of it. Some of you may have a strong inkling of it, and you will align with your tribe. And the same with Dino and Otto. I want them to be part of this thing, this grand scheme of things. Either way, that's a work in progress that's just begun now. I also closed down the other groups as well, because even the Zen coach and what we're doing is changing directions. New people, new movement, and it's all happening organically. I've been watching from the sidelines with some pain, some discomfort with our current state of affairs. Nothing to do with you guys, but where people are and where people were, where we began, where we are now. And all these changes, which are natural progressions. But now I feel, and also there's something happening in the unseen, unmanifested world that Otto confirmed with me. There's a major opening, a major moving toward openings within each and every human being. I would call it consciousness arising. I don't like these terms because then they put you into a Reiki healer or some other kind of cuckoo woo-woo kind of vibe, right? But there's great things coming for every single one of you, and it's not me reading your horoscope, okay? There's major planetary alignments happening, and if you sit there and still doubt yourself and question yourself, you will lose this opportunity where the window is open. The window is wide open right now. You can't see it. It's open. You got to walk through it right now. It will stay open for generations. It may not be you, right? But this is your time. Your time to step up and walk through the door. It's not your time to like pull your socks up and get your shit together, that kind of stuff. Just flow now, because everything's going to support you. But you got to ride with me. You know, you got to be on the same boat as me. If you're still hanging at the bottom going, no, I'm not worthy to be in that boat, then you're not. But I can only push this thing as much as you guys wanted to. And I need you. I need you. Okay? Because where I want to go is I need you to make myself into a great superstar. Nothing to do with that. My plan and because I had a wonderful session with Maria, she ended up coaching me, asking me ridiculous questions. And I said, thank you. And then she apologized for asking me all these ridiculous questions. And I said, I love them. She said, but Rashad, what is your idea? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? You know? And I said, this is what it is. It's not me. It's what I want the world to be. What I want 10,000 of you around the world. This is what I want. 10,000 of us, right? So I'm one of us, not me with Joe Dispenza and his group of Mary followers, okay? So my light and your light is the same light, and we all share that light. And I want the individual expression of each one of your lights, because there's a light in you guys that is going to shine in all directions. And the outward manifestation is going to be your red hair and your curly brown hair and your scarf and your blonde hair and your glasses and your whatever it is, your Englishness and your Muslim New Jerseyness and your Lizanne, I never remember where you're from or wherever it is, right? Where we are. And Maria, your Greekness. Don't become anything but that authentic you, because you have been packaged, cut, and fit into this perfect mold, exactly as it is. Your job is to step into that mold, not to change your accent or cut your hair or lose some weight or get a boob job or whatever. I think I'm going to need one soon, by the way things are going. So So step into you. Okay, just be you. There's no like I have to become this and that. Okay, and then let the waves carry you to the to where you need to go. This is not your business where you need to. But say yes to every moment. That's it. Just say yes to every moment. Whatever it is, say yes to it. You want to coach me? Yes. You want to jump in the ocean? Yes. There is no no's anymore. And there's no how and why and how are we going to do this and who's going to be there and what am I supposed to do and I don't know. No. If the question gets asked towards you, you say yes. And if something in you decides to offer that, then you don't question that. Do you think I could do that? And they say, no. Okay, just thought I'd ask. Ask. Otherwise, you'll never know. Okay. Again, becoming so to recap again, we spoke about the 3 phases of what we are doing out here. Number 1, perfecting the art of listening, right? And it's going to be in the tape, in the recording, the tape. You can, Lizanne, you can see like the tape, the VHS tape. So if you rewind the tape, you'll see we talk about being a good listener. Secondly, being really good at asking questions. The third thing, accountability and coaching, and that's what this session is about, keeping people accountable. And so that's what we spoke about and how to do that. And Lizanne, you'll catch up on that, and Abdullah as well when he joins the call again about the accountability part as well. Remember to reiterate, we are like children, all of us inside of us. We need to be motivated like children. You have to use what's the word? You've got to use covert tactics on yourself and then on others. On yourself first, right? So like, okay, so I want to wake up in the morning at 5 in the morning and do 30 push-ups tomorrow morning. What do you think the chances of me doing that are right now? If I had to ask, 0. Why? Because it's pain. Is it good for me? Oh yeah, but I'd rather watch somebody else do it on YouTube than me doing it, right? Because it's so much more. So how do I get myself to do that? I got to be very persuasive, but very conniving. This is what you do with your clients and children. Well, I tell you what, you get up in the morning, you do 5 push-ups, and after that, you can go have your double espresso. You know, you have your double espresso at 7:30. You can have your double espresso at 5 o'clock after you do 3 push-ups. That's it. That's all. And you know the job is done. Because when the guy gets there, when I get there in the morning, that's what I'm going to do. Watch. Now I'm going to get you to keep me accountable. You see, this is what coaches do. Now, smart people, I tell my wife, listen, I was going to do something when I get back that I found very useful for me that I implemented. I said, I want you to insist that I do it and nag me and make me feel really shit about it when I don't do it. Okay? She's like, really? I said, yes, really. That's what I want you to do. Right? So I like that because I know if I allow myself, I'm not going to do those things. So this is what you do as coaches. You got to say, look, you want to do them. You know you're not going to do it. How do we use something in this way? Now, you never use criticism. You never use insults. You never use judgment. And then you always, this is the other secret thing. And you guys have all been through the 21-day challenge, right? When you fall off the horse, what do? Get back on. Lizanne, I read your lips there. That's the secret. Forgive yourself and get back on. Forgive yourself and get back on. You repeat this to the client over and over again because that's what's going to happen. So tomorrow morning, if I don't wake up and do those push-ups, and be like, oh shit, what am I gonna tell the group because I promised them and now I didn't do it, right? So I'd say, guys, look, I didn't do it. So then you tell, you say, well, you tell them, look, I didn't do it, but I did it yesterday. And now you as the coach are going to say, well, you didn't do it that day. Great. Look, you did it. You focus on the outcome. Encouraging them to build up momentum. And there is this 1% rule that the Atomic Habits talks about. Lizanne, I mentioned James Clear's Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, you've got to study that book because implement it in your life. And then I use that in my coaching as well, right? And so that was the last call was about the coaching aspect, which is universal to all coaching professions, you could say, which is the accountability helping the client to get to where they want to go. Remember, if the client doesn't want to go there, that's when you will fail and when they will fail. So if the why is not clear, and that's why Simon Sinek's book, which you don't have to read, I think is a great salesperson, although he's got some wisdom in it. His book's called Start With Why. It's a very important question. So start with why. Okay, you want to clean the room. Why? And then we spoke about that. Two things, pain avoidance or pleasure seeking, right? So I can get the shit over so my dad can stop complaining. That's not ever going to happen, right? Why? Because you enjoy complaining about your dad. That's why. You can't tell them this, but that's it. What are they going to complain about then? And then dad's going to go, what am I going to complain about? Because it's actually an ego trip, the whole complaining thing, right? So then you say, but why do you want to clean the room? If it had nothing to do with your dad, why do you want to clean the room? And because then why isn't the room clean in the first place? Why has it become such a major task for you? It's not very difficult to clean the room for other people. Other people enjoy keeping this stuff. So there is an ego development that caused them to keep the room untidy. And then it's almost like they're waiting for their dads to tell them, you see, you can never keep your room clean, because it confirms in them that they're not worthy of a clean room. You see the messed up, backward, forward kind of thing. You guys get what I'm saying? Right? It's really weird. It's really weird, right? So they don't want to clean the room, right? Because if they clean the room, then what are they going to say they're not good at anymore? A lot of people are very busy, right? And if they're not busy anymore, what are they going to do with their time? So you say to them, okay, let's imagine, Caroline, I saw your hand, I'll come to you. So let's imagine it takes you 3 days, get the room done. What are you going to do now with your life? Well, just get on with things. That's so boring, you see, because they've attached a huge fake reward, fake feeling. Like, oh, if I can finally get on the plane and go to Bali, then everything will be okay. Like I did, after this 20-hour flight to Thailand, and halfway through, I'm like, why the fuck did you get on this flight? Like, can you just get me off this flight? It's horrible, right? Then I get to the airport, can't find a taxi, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't have that expectation that my problems would disappear. I smiled about it, and I went with the flow. And that's why, Caroline, I said, too, it's challenging, right? You arrive here, mask on, looks like you walked into a fucking ward, a hospital ward, everybody wearing the whole hazmat suit, like you're an infected, Wuhan prisoner that's arrived. That kind of vibe. That's all fine. I'm only saying it, but I smiled about it and I went with it. So know this part about people, that they don't want to change. They do, but they don't. Caroline, you wanted to say something?
When you were talking about that, I just thought whether you want to be right or happy.
What's that got to do with?
When people are like this self-sabotage thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, but we're talking about coaching and accountability.
Oh, okay.
No. Go on. Explain what you mean.
Oh, I just mean, like the boy that doesn't want to clean his room and he wants to have his dad say to him, and it's the ego development and it confirms he's messed up, doesn't want to clean the room and everybody's busy. It's like whether you want to be right or happy. It's a choice.
It's not whiskey, by the way, Lizanne, in case you're Irish, in case your Irishness are going, oh, I wouldn't mind some of that in the daytime. It's not, it's just water. Caroline, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? You see, the thing is, there's not really the conflict between dad and child about right and wrong and about criticism here. It's not really that. What the person's come to you with, the child has come to you with, in my example, is that they want to clean the room because they don't want their dad to stop complaining, to stop complaining. If you say it your way, then you could say, well, keep a dirty room and let your dad be right? That's also a point. And say, yes, Dad, you're right. My room is dirty. Deal with it. It's your shit. You deal with it. That's also a way. Mm-hmm. No, it's a valid point. It's like, okay, why is it bothering you? if he comes to you and says your room is dirty and it doesn't bother you, why does it bother him? You could say that as well. Well, because he thinks that it's bad for me, because I won't habits, and that could be his problem, not your problem. So you'd say, well, then it shouldn't bother you, should it? You shouldn't bother, you shouldn't. But here's what it reveals, the next part of it. Why does something bother you? Because you know it's true. That's why it bothers you. Because deep down, you know, I can't have a shit room like this, right? And that's why it bothers you, right? When someone says to you, well, why can't you stop being such a nicer person? And you'd be like, well, what has he got to say about it anyway? That's his problem. But why are you getting defensive? Because deep down, you know, you're being a bit obnoxious and it's not really good for you. So what the ego mind does, it attacks. It attacks his dad, right? What does my dad know anyway? I mean, he doesn't know it. I'm perfectly fine. Talking about himself, right? Well, or you could say, look, I'll tell you what, clean the room, and your dad would not have any issues after that. So you must understand how convoluted some of the whys are of why we want to do things. And you'll find this in yourself first. Notice it in yourself first before you even go out there, and pick out those things that you want to do, why you don't want to do them, and why you engage with me, right? As an example, right? The difference with you guys is that you guys reached out. 90% of the planet doesn't reach out. They sit there blaming other people, right? They're blaming other people for their lives. Where you're saying, look, okay, look, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna do this anymore. And then your job as coaches is to say, but what's really going on here, right? So you're upset because he said your room was dirty, right? Is your room dirty? Yes. Does it bother you? No. So why is it bothering you when he's telling you it's dirty? Right? Because if it's not true and it's not skin off your back, why are you bothered by it? Because you know, ultimately, some of that's true. Like, for instance, the dad would follow that up with a comment saying, well, you're bloody useless. You can't even clean your room and you want to get a new car, for instance, right? Because there's a part of you that knows he's right. I can't even clean my room. How am I going to get a car? But you're not going to admit that. So then, you know, like Caroline said, you could say, well, you know, you want to be right or be happy. So you could just be happy, which is really not really solving the ego problem here, right? Many of our problems in life is ego-based problems. And that's it. Abdullah, I'm glad you got none of that. That's okay, because you had an important, good meeting, and it's all recorded anyway, so you can play this back. So yeah, guys, what are your other thoughts? I'm glad we managed to have the call finally. It was I tried so many things before the call to make sure we'd be able to get this going, and it worked out. I'm so glad. So I just wanted to make sure we finish off with the coaching aspect. That's the third aspect, accountability and coaching. And it's all in there. For further information and details about the 1% rule that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, you can go implement that. I studied that book and I inculcated the teachings in the book. Here's the problem. Here's the big thing people don't get. Seven habits of highly successful people, Think and Grow Rich. It's all these books. What's the one aspect that they don't get into which prevents the person from achieving their goals? The most important aspect is that people don't know why they want that thing in them, or they've diagnosed the wrong thing. Let me give you an example. Someone would read a book on, it happened to, so this guy was like, found a video on YouTube, and he couldn't achieve his goals. And the guy on YouTube said, you know, a lot of the times it's stuff to do with traumas of your past. And when you go into the traumas of your past, you realize that that was what is preventing you from achieving your goals. And the person latches onto that. So he's been doing these meditations to go and release the traumas of his past. And he said, you know, I picked up some trauma and then I released it. Yeah, they find things as well, right? So then I asked him, so now are you getting on with your shit? No, there's still more traumas that I've got to find. So now I'm reading a book on trauma about why having the wrong shoe size has caused me to not be able to brush my teeth properly. Right? Like, what the hell? And what do? Then they go get a book, Atomic Habits, on how to get rid of childhood trauma caused by tight shoes. Right? I'm not making this shit up. Okay? And then they will say, right, tomorrow morning, I'll wake up in the morning, make sure that I massage my foot, make sure when I go to the shops, I buy a wider foot. It's like this thing, what they have in relationships called a narcissist. You know how polarized and how wrong that whole thing is? And I'm going to say it blatantly. The narcissist is you. There isn't a narcissist out there. They say, so there's these coaches, how to help you deal with narcissistic people, especially when it comes to your partner, right? You're looking in the damn mirror. You're the narcissist, buddy. They don't like to hear that. No, but they've got a list of tendencies. Narcissist tends to be selfish, self-absorbed, don't care about anybody else. That's you. That's not them. Right? And I'm making blanket statements. I can prove this to you. We can have a 2-hour conversation. I'll show you why you're the narcissist and not them being the narcissist. So what do? They read it and they go, oh my God, 7 out of 10, the bastard has it. I knew it. He's a narcissist. Go on a course. Do the course on dealing with narcissistic relationships, right? And he's the bastard. Get rid of him. I'm going to make sure that my next relationship, I find nothing like these 7 characteristics. How would you know what the 7 characteristics are unless you got them in yourself? So you go, is he selfish? How the hell can you see what selfish is unless you don't have it? Does he say nasty things? How did you know that? So then you go into and then you say, I can't believe this guy's a narcissist as well. Now I need therapy and Reiki and healing. There's something to do with my gut. It's a real client case, right? I found out that I've got a bad gut bacteria. And this is going long story, and I'm getting a bit carried away. You guys can excuse me for that, right? But rewinding, that's why these books tend to fail. And that's where you guys, being clarity coaches, would say, but why do you actually want it? And what's the real problem, right? So like we did diagnose the example of the child trying to clean the room because the dad was not happy. Is it the room? Is it the dad? Is it themselves? What's really going on here, right? Why don't they want to do it? And this is the whole field of awareness that you're building up for them, not diagnosing it for them. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
It's just everyone is shining.
Yeah.
Everyone in this group has got these smiles on their face, man. It's beautiful. It's like just shining, man. It's amazing.
That's you, Abdullah. The world is a mirror. And I agree because I feel the same and I see the same in all you beautiful human beings. And thank you, Abdullah, because that's what people are going to see when they encounter you. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to fake a smile either. Just be this. Thank you for... Do you guys agree? You all love Abdullah now, obviously. Like, oh, we love you. Thank you. It's true, though.
No, it's what I mean. I haven't even been on the call, and I just, it's been a bit frantic. I take my phone. I'm on the phone in the car, and then battery died. And I get into the house, log in, and I'm just like now sitting here, and it's like, wow. Everyone's shining. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
That's good.
Thank you.
I'm glad you listened to none of the other conversation that we had there, Bella.
I wanted to add something about the accountability, though, back to, excuse me. So what I find too is that people, what's familiar is comfortable, and people really don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And so what I wanted to add, Rashad, is, and this is not unusual, yet it's happening more rapidly, it feels to me, that people are getting the concepts, and because I'm using this in my therapy too, don't tell the insurance carriers. So they're getting the concepts and they're loving it, and the application of it is where they're stumbling. So they're like, I know and I get it and I believe it. I just don't know how to do it. And we're having this dance now. It's fun. It's great. I mean, I just dance with them on it, but it's again, not our job to do it for them. And people will come to you and want you, I don't know, say it differently, Rashad, right?
Yeah, well,
They
that's
want
why
you,
we have.
they want you to be, yeah, they want you to fix it or be the, you know, they think we have the answer on how they can apply it. They have to apply it. So you're talking about accountability and momentum.
Yes.
People got to
So-
get moving. They come to us, but then they sit.
Yeah, well,
Or-
this is where the coaching aspect comes in, right? Which is keeping people accountable. And we have the tools and techniques available, a huge amount of them. And that's what you can do for them as well, Lizanne, is to say, all right, well, I'll tell you what, you want to know what to do? This is what you should do. You do this every morning, you know, whatever it is, like for instance, a morning primer, breathing routine, affirmations in the day. These things do help. Depending, I don't know what specific, but you're right about your first half of your statement is that also a lot of people, interestingly enough, because you deal with trauma, and it's something that I said to you in our first few calls, is that if they get over their trauma, then who will they be? Right? Because that's become so familiar to them that, okay, so look here, I'll tell you what, do 1, 2, 3, and then you'll be trauma free. That rhymes. 1, 2, 3, you'll be trauma free, right? You can patent that, Lisa.
And gain clarity. Can I add that?
Right,
1, 2,
exactly.
3, you're trauma free, and now you've gained your clarity.
We
Let's
just
go.
we got our post and just put
We
it
just-
out there.
Because I have to say, and I talked to Caroline. I heard Maria's. This is what happens to me when I get into this zone. I don't even know what people's names are anymore. Like there's no words, there's no names, there's, you know, so Maria was talking about consciousness, and the thing that kept coming to me was clarity. I want to be actually speaking truth. I told Caroline, I'm a truth seeker and speaker, and that is my coaching.
I like that. I like that.
Okay,
Should be
so,
all of
yeah.
our
Okay, so and yet clarity came to, that was more of a clear vision. I am a seer, and that's my, you know, mode. So it is in alignment with who I am. So I just wanted to say, I'm not just taking that from today. I already had that in my bucket. And I don't want to do, everyone keeps asking about a CV and a resume and both. And I want to do a portfolio. The profile is more about not a lot of words. So I do want to use a little video and some voice notes.
Good.
That is words like that.
No,
They have to hear
less is more. Less is
the
more.
energy. I want it to vibe. And so that's been a little challenge because I realize I need to be connected to social media to have these things happen. And yet I've just been loving sitting by trees. I'm trying, this is where when Dino, I'm like using social media like popcorn. I like a thing pops and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go on. Like something happens and then I go on. It is not a kind of thing for me right now. And I did wonder with Caroline, because we had a coaching call, like, do I have time for all of this? Can I still keep doing this and this? And that was where I said to you, Rashad, I was trying to create a timeline, and I don't think that you liked that when I said that.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't know
buying any
why,
of that. Look, you can go hug your
I
trees and
know.
do whatever you want, but I want that profile up and ready. I don't care how creative and how whatever it is, Lizanne. It's
Yes,
fine.
and I heard that. So I'm dancing with the, it's not really doubt. It's,
I don't need a word, okay? Right. But
Yeah, I
all
don't have
want
a
is
word.
just a simple profile that's up there, as shit
Okay.
as it can be. It has to be really
Okay.
shit. That's your goal.
so just
All of you have
so
to
just
put up a
use
really
LinkedIn?
shit profile. Anything that says
anything.
something. Yeah, add it to your LinkedIn profile, of course, Miriam. Just tell me that you're a coach and tell me what you do and what you can do for me,
Yeah.
for people. Okay, that's it. Simple. 5 words. Five.
Even if
five.
even if it's a video, even if it's a short video, a little.
No, come on. A couple of words. Just point form. Point form. Point form. You can add a video,
Okay.
but just something that I can then use that on a banner poster and say, Lizanne, no. So what makes you all unique? For instance, Abdullah, now that these boys come in, father, whatever it is, experienced MBA graduate, stuff like that. Miriam, medicine background, whatever it is, just talk about your roots. Anything just describes what you are in the first aspect. Then on the second aspect, what you can do for people, right? And that you can, my website's got tons of shit on there. Take whatever you like from there. Take whatever you like. It's all there. It's all very similar. So you don't have to go reinvent the wheel, right? Go to my website and say, okay, well, I like this, we do this, that, and the other. And I spent ages doing that. Yeah, he doesn't wave much. Doesn't wave much. Even in person, he's like, he's quite.
He's not feeling well, so.
Oh, poor
This
baby.
one's waving.
Oh. He looks like a little Mongol Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
All right. They. What's this they, Miriam? Did you just type they? They're so cute. Okay, I thought we were gonna get into one of those gender it they shit. No, please, no, Miriam, no. All right, guys. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet, but it's never short and sweet. It was sweet, but it wasn't short. So great to see you all again. Just a favor request that if you come across something interesting, to please post it onto the Zen Coach group. I can't keep up with posting all the time. We had all these days. Zahira has run out of steam. She's gone back into a bit of a shell, and she needs to have her time. Anisa as well has sort of disappeared doing whatever she's doing. Hayat's been in touch, but she doesn't want to join the group. Baroshan's been steady, stable. Lizanne. I'm only talking about the old guard, you could say, right? And yeah, just to keep some momentum up. Dino and Otto will bring in some new energy as well. Yeah, it just keeps things lively. It's more for the community than for me, but it's also very good to confirm where we're going as well. So I'm having an amazing time. Doing so much reading. I'm doing so much listening. I'm really enjoying the space that I'm in right now. And I've never been in this space before, inside me. And the place is irrelevant. It's just that when I'm far away from my usual environment, and I'm very blessed by my wife taking care of stuff back home, which is not easy at all. I'm really benefiting from, originally I intended this time to be my time to go in and do work on me and do my meditations, my practices, and all the rest of it. I don't have the need for it because I'm just thriving right now as it is. So what I want to do is to focus on producing more content. So I'm creating this incredible practice that you're all going to love. I might record it tomorrow morning as well. We're doing a lot of sitting practice as well. Incredible insights, but it's all in the nature of I'm not watching a lot. I'm not doing a lot. Like I don't get to read. And it's a pleasure that because it requires so much attention, right? And so little distraction. And with 4 children, don't get that opportunity as much. And then with the coaching thing as well. So it's been really amazing being here. And I'm glad that I can share with some of my clients as well while I'm here, that energy. If any of you guys want to chat while I'm here, I'm available as friends. Just want to say hello or whatever. get in touch as well. All of you. Maria disappeared. Not sure what happened.
She just messaged the group and said she couldn't get back in, but have a good day.
Oh, well, let me just bring her back in so she can just say goodbye. Maria, what is it? Maria Raka at mac.com, I think it is. Just tell her to come back on so she can say
Okay.
goodbye. Tell her I sent her a link. I just rather say goodbye to all of you together, and you guys all say goodbye to each other together. Tell her I sent her a link. Any thoughts? Any feelings? I don't know what's coming next, but I can feel something coming up. And Dino and Otto have brought a new spark to my to myself. Yeah, so I know big things are coming. Not big, but interesting things that widen our gap and our circle. And I want each of you to start forming your own tribe. So I'm going to be there till you start forming your own coaching client network and then set up your own groupings. It was never given to me. I learned all of this by myself. Ended up almost becoming a competition to my coach instead of this. So my intention is to be with you guys all the way, as long as you guys want me to. And I want to see you guys developing, and you have the ideal sort of framework to develop. Like I was saying before, if you missed it, that your entire package as you are is what you must present to the world, but you must own that, everything that you are right now. Own it, right? Miriam, any thoughts?
No, just that. I think I'm excited to like get the ball rolling. But yeah, other than that, just
Say that again. Say that again, please.
I said excited
Okay, that's
to
good.
get the ball rolling. Especially like for me, I think it's just been like actually putting it out there that yeah, like I'm a coach now. Like it's even hard for me to hear still, but just doing that I think is gonna be like pushing me forward and making it known to
That's why
other
you have
people.
this. That's why you have this to confirm that
Yeah.
you are. We're all coaches here, right? So you're not. It's not. You don't have to do this by yourself. We're here together. So that's good. Maria, let's see, she's back there. Abdullah, any feelings, any thoughts? How you feeling?
I am feeling the best I have ever felt in my entire life. And that is no lie. And that, I mean, you know my journey, you know the periods of my life which I thought were the best, and they were exceptional, but I'm feeling even better now. And that's, yeah, that's that whole period in Dallas House, all of those years. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and I know what that means in such a deep way. It's very beautiful. Abdullah is a brother of mine. I don't know, if you 20 years of a friendship and a relationship, and to be so blessed to be in a company of a man as great as him in so many ways, and so humble in so many ways. It's very beautiful to see. Thank you, Abdullah. It's beautiful for you to share. Lizanne?
Yeah, I wanted to segue into the feeling I have in me. I shared, and so I like analogies and metaphors, and because I see things. And I was sharing with Caroline about a Jello. I don't know if you have Jello in your culture. Like it's something you put boiling
Jelly.
water into it, right?
Jelly, we say
But then
jelly, yeah.
it's like these paradoxical things. You put boiling water in the refrigerator, and then it molds and it gels, and it's this yummy, sweet kind of thing. And I feel like this is where I'm at. Like things are gelling, and like never before, as Abdullah said, it's not even that I can describe how I feel so settled into myself. The
That's
settling
the
in,
thing. That's where it
the,
is in yourself.
the settling in is, it's nothing I've ever felt before in my life. And it's nothing scary. No, it's just, it just is. And so that's why I sent the picture. Like, I was so excited to see some engagement on the group. I appreciate that. And yet I find myself just in this place of sitting, or yeah, it's beautiful. And I do want that to then go out to so many, and it is being received by people I am with. And yet I'm kind of being, yes, a little selfish with it. That feeling to just have such an awareness of that, because I know it's going to change and ebb and flow and blah blah blah, and all is well. Yet I don't feel this part of me will ever change again, in the sense of it will always be there now. I will get maybe distracted from it, or it is just so available. It's beautiful. So I just wanted to say I love you all, and please know that there's so much love to share in our group. Even if there's silence, we know that we are ever present to each other. And that's it. So thank you. Now I'm getting emotional. I'm like a marshmallow with hard, crunchy outsides, right, Coach?
That's how we should all be. We should always be soft and malleable and soft hearts. I can attest to both of you in the true sense of that I've never been in such a good space in myself, and been so comfortable in my skin and what I am and who I am. I mean, I see the world and I see people. I'm not there. Otherwise, it was always this part of me that was questioning this and that part of me questioning that. And it's not that I don't give a shit about what people think. I do. I care. I love. I share. And yeah, I mean, it got to a point where I had to withdraw a little bit, because the awareness was becoming so intense for me. It was overwhelming me, because I'm seeing skin and bones and hair and things in objective parts rather than wholes. It's seeing things for what they are in the most direct way, and it's quite something. It's quite I wouldn't say it's unsettling, but I miss that sometimes. Being I don't miss it. Anyway, it's difficult to describe what it is, but seeing things for what they are is what it is that I've been given. And so what I also recognize is that the universe works with the opposites. There is an outward expansion and an inner contraction, or an inner expansion and an outward contraction. You can't have it all. There is an inward, there's an outward, there is the opposites that every religion or every ancient path will tell you this. And what is very fascinating about the nature of creation is that everything arises independently. Nothing arises independently. In other words, I'm sad because of someone else making me sad. That someone else making you sad and you being sad arose at the same time. It's something that I will explain to you if we have the privilege of our conversations, and if it's something you want to go deeper into, is that we see nature as this form and that form, or what it is a blank slate, and then everything arises and then everything vanishes. There is a mutual codependence and a mutual co-arising in the nature of reality and of existence. And when you feel that real thing, it's really great. So I said that a couple of years ago, is I've never felt so comfortable being me. Like, not me being this age, or me being this man, or me being this coach, or me being this, just me being in this world, being totally at ease with what I am. It's a very beautiful gift. And Lizanne and Abdullah, and of course the rest of you as well, echo that. My heart is overwhelmed by the strong intention that I put out onto the universe, and seeing the tears and seeing the soft hearts makes me realize that anything is possible. Because if you can create this in your heart and share that with the world, and then you see the world feeding back to you, then you know there is truth in this thing, that your intention and a strong elevated emotion. So my reading of this phase is that there is a rising of consciousness, right? When you use the word consciousness, awareness, you could say our connection to God. There's no harm in saying that either, right? I avoid saying that because then it's polarized, right? But there is a hearts together coming together. There is a awareness beyond our suffering and our goals and our objectives that is much more important and significant. It's the awareness that we are of what we are behind the objective reality that we see around us. And so I'm very blessed, very, very blessed to have you guys in my life. I don't think you know the significance of each one of you being here. I don't think you know that it wasn't this act of chance that you just signed a form and you appeared here and you're not meant to be here, and you're this and you're that. And a few of you came to me and said, I don't know if I'm meant to be here, and I don't know. So now at the end of it, and now I want to ask you, without asking anyone specifically, right? Were you meant to be here? And are you at the right place at the right time with the right people?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to answer it, but ask yourself that question, and I'm sure the answer will be yes. And yeah.
Although,
So
can
guys-
I just, it reminds me, because remember Abdallah, he got married on this call. He married himself. He committed. Anyway, it was an I do moment. Abdallah, you're not,
Oh,
look at the
right, yeah.
recording.
I
You
do,
said
yeah,
I
yeah.
do, and it
I
was
do,
like,
yeah.
and one of the things in my
Oh, yes.
profile, listen, you can't get anything past me, brother. Okay. One of the things in my profile that is unique to me is that I said to Coach that I felt like I was giving birth to a new self
Yeah.
of mine in my divorce. That was in a very challenging time. Now I'm getting married to myself.
Oh, beautiful.
I've made the commitment just to me. And although the divine source is part of my profile, that's true. I did not use God because my faith is, what are we doing? We're playing with, what is his name, Abdullah? I'm very distracted in a good way.
Oh yeah, his name is
Child.
Muhammad, and he is playing with some Lego
Muhammad.
helicopter.
Oh, Muhammad. Okay. So
Say hello.
So hello. I'm marrying myself. I'm saying I do to me, and that's what I want my clients to commit to. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, well, you guys didn't read this, but although Abdullah and Maria read the, I'll share this with you guys as it is, and you can read that. I never went to, oh no, I'll edit it and send it out tomorrow. I commit to doing that. My profile and my journey through self-discovery. So I'll share this with you. So it was a few years ago after I had undertaken my own journey, and I booked myself into the rainforest in the south of Thailand, and I turned up at the resort, and the welcoming family at the resort said to me, they said, "Where is your partner?" And I was thinking, what, like, why are they asking me about a partner? I mean, is it so weird for me to come here alone? And I said, well, why do I need a partner? He said, well, you booked the honeymoon suite, right? Because I looked online, and the only room that was the best, most beautiful room was the honeymoon suite. And then I said, I came here to fall in love with myself. And I laughed, and they had this weird laugh, right? And then I went, shit. And that's what it was. I had finally accepted myself as I am, and it took so much work and so many hours of meditation and practices and watching my thoughts. And I had done it. I fell in love and I cried. And then I came back another time to Thailand, and I ended up after a long flight and sat outside on the balcony, and I cried for 45 minutes, and I wrote the most beautiful lines of divine expression, and so this place has been a great gift for me, and great openings for me. And so now I'm here to there is no other work I'm here to do. That's the other thing. Now it's about me providing more. This is my work right now. And it's not to say I'm now becoming, unselfish guy, giving to the world kind of vibe. It's not that. I'm not like a hero of any sort, right? But yeah, it's just being with me and being with you guys. It's a real pleasure. And disconnecting from people was really useful for me, because every day I speak to so many people, and I am the counselor, the father, the mentor, the helper, the guide, and all the rest of it. It's really good for me to spend as little time as possible. Like I love people. I love being with you all, but I need to also be with myself and walk around by myself and do things by myself, and nobody recognizes me wherever I go, and that's really, really healthy for me. So I was really looking forward to this call, and I'm glad. It was meant, I had booked something else that I needed to go and do, but I canceled it. I'm so glad, because it was meant to be an hour, and it became longer. Just in a very good space. And Abdullah, I echo what you're saying. All these beautiful human beings on the call are shining. I agree with you. That's why he's got a helicopter, because we're all flying high here. Significant. Maria, we will all be sharing these wonderful feelings and thoughts. Anything you want to add? Maria had a first session as well. I wanted you to come back on the call. So yeah, I'm going to send you in the future direct invites on the email so that you can get in this way.
Because you mentioned, I didn't want to say, but because you mentioned about your introduction, your biography, yesterday I was closing the door of the studio, and because for the last 3-4 days I was just in this deep meditation, because I knew I'm gonna see somebody and I wanted to be the best I could. So I did the meditations, I was like doing my homework, but no expectation, just wanted me to be good enough. So I closed the door of the studio and I said, oh my God, it has happened. I fell in love with myself. Remember, you said there was a moment, and I said, now what's good? I need to be somebody that I need to take care of myself, because the better I become, the more useful I am. I made this connection yesterday, but it was like, oh my God, I said, what is it's this thing is like I am on a spin. What is this? It's like I'm in a washing machine, going all the time in my head. But that's what I felt yesterday, that finally I found my purpose. Like finally I realized what it means to be a person, not whole, but person that knows themselves and take care of themselves. What's the value of that for the outside world? So it made the connection yesterday,
That's synchronicity is amazing that all four of us said that. Caroline, Miriam, any of your feelings, thoughts? Caroline, we can't hear you.
It just gave me, just hearing everybody, it just sort of started me being able to write my profile, I think, just now. It's just sort of given me some ideas of why I'm doing this and what my thing is to give people.
And remember that the others have been on this journey for quite a while to arrive at this point as well. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Of course, you can do the coaching thing, but I think it's also an inspiration about where you can arrive at with the work and the tools and techniques. And that would encourage you to keep on going as well, Caroline. You're frozen on my side again. Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. Miriam, anything you
Yes,
want to add?
can I just say, Coach,
Yep.
I don't feel I haven't arrived. I've arrived to a place in myself I've never been before. I am ready to keep going.
Yeah, well, that's about the same for all of us, right? Yeah, the only time you'd actually totally arrive is when you die, right? That's the only time that yeah, because this what is even the Zen monks who actually arrive at enlightenment, they say this beautiful thing, and they say, before enlightenment, chop wood, fetch water. After enlightenment, chop wood, fetch water. Journey doesn't stop; it just begins again. I want to finish off with Miriam. Do you want to say anything and add anything? Yeah. Okay. I want us to just sit in presence together and in awareness together. Brought my tincture bells all the way from Africa here, so they had a long flight. So I'd like us to just sit together, if you can, synchronize with your heart energy. Abdullah, you got them running around there. I hope you can do this. But it's okay if you don't. You can do this at another time. Do your best that you can. Left hand, middle of your chest, right hand of your heart. Close your eyes. Tune in to your heart center. Take 3 breaths from your heart. Tune in to in between your eyebrows, in between your eyes, upwards where your third eye is located. Let your eyes look backward, upward, and inward. In other words, your eyes closed, looking behind, looking upwards. Your heart looking up at your third eye. Your eyes looking backward and upwards. Be comfortable with it. There's no technique, just settle inwardly. Become aware of the universe inside your body. There is this universe, like everything is going on there. Stars, galaxies, planets, black holes, everything in the outside universe is inside of you. Every sacred metal, gold, silver, copper, water, whatever it is inside you. Just become aware of this alive universe that you are. You are the universe contained in the drop. Feel the universe inside of you. Be inward in your universe. It's a complete universe. You are a universe, and each one of us are universes, not individuals. I'll ring the bell to tune in deeper into that universe. Follow the sound of the bell with all your awareness from this deep stillness inside you. Drop down further into the stillness. Be the still awareness, watching the universe inside you. Just watching. Be aware of each one of us, of our presences here, our awareness, our individual awareness, all connecting to the shared awareness. And if we remove our bodies and our personalities, all we are is one awareness. All together, all of us awareness. In an ocean of awareness, one and many and many and one. There is no separation. Let this frequency align with each one of us, and let it amplify the signal of awareness and the stillness, which is the blue sky which is our natural state of being, of nothingness, of everythingness. Let your heart feel the blessing of being so blessed for your life, for this precious moment that is eternal, not located in time, not located in space, eternally now. Give thanks for being able to recognize this eternal moment, for it is eternal, and your awareness is eternal. You are everywhere. Let your heart emit the frequency of love and compassion and generosity for everything and everyone out there. Let your light shine upon your face and let it light the faces of everybody you encounter. Feel our hearts in synchronicity. Feel how in tune we all are with each other. Feel the magnificent gift to be connected with another soul of the same frequency. It happens to few people, and it's the biggest gift that any human being can ever be given. How blessed we are. And with that, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and we can return to the now. Maria, you forgot to talk about what you were going to talk about. Can you give it to us in 2 minutes?
What about the project?
Yeah.
I want to synchronize everybody, but yeah, I want to play because I made the chord out of all our tonalities, guys. So I want to play the chord to see how we sound all together. But that's a long time ago. I'm trying to find it. I'll play it on the piano. Okay, we sound like this.
Oh, we can't hear it. It's too far away. You can record that and send it to us. So what is the project? Because you have a task that we can try out. Oh, you go ahead. Do what you.
Okay, so I was thinking I want to do to offer something practical to people, the people that are in the Zen family, because that comes from a personal place. Because for me, the biggest progress happened when I started sharing these texts. That's a long story. There are 3 phases in it, and it was like I broke free from so many things. So I want to ask people to express themselves through creativity. Do something creative because it liberates you, and it's difficult. So one part of it will be to find their voice. So I had this idea that Rishad picks up a poem, and we ask people to read the poem. You have to do it too. So they just recite something and send the recordings. From that, we can find the frequency of every person without though saying that's gonna be confidential. Doesn't, because some people might get, oh, but I like this person. I'm not, compatible frequency, whatever. I don't know.
We worked that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something personal, but it's like a fun way of being self-aware. And then from there, my head started spinning, and I thought, we can isolate one line of every voice and make them, cluster them into chords. So create a piece of music that is made from the voices of the people in the group. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And then from what the chords are, we can compose a melody. We might have to bring professional people, okay? But this will be a model of something that is Rishad's teaching, because music can teach you about impermanent, which is Rishad's favorite word, impermanence. The idea of synchronicity, the flow in time, the idea that time is not linear, that is going up, because every time a new voice comes and is added into that model, everything changes, okay? And then I thought this itself will have a pulse, like the song itself has a certain frequency, which will be the frequency. But Rishad, we're going cult now, okay? Because that will be the frequency of your teachings, whatever.
Of our tribe, yeah.
Of our tribe. But then it hit me that this idea is the model of the coach, the way you teach it, because it's the host of other people's souls. So it's one song that kind of hosts all people's voices, all people's emotions, everybody in the group. And, you know, that itself should connect people. We should feel somehow good about being with each other. But as something that has frequency, we just kind of radiate outside in the universe as well. We become our own kind of transmitter kind of thing. So this is very Tate modern that has happened. I don't know, it came in my head like that. But, you know, it starts with one single thing, though. The task is for people to find their voice, to just make themselves take this step, because that for me was so difficult. When you were saying, Maria, can I share? It was like I was jumping off a mountain without a parachute. It was like that, straight, like for days until it was forgotten. But that made me, you know, accelerated where the confidence and all of that stuff. Anyway, so that's the project. It has many stages, but the main idea is this. And then I was thinking, that's my part of it. But then I was thinking that all of you have different interests and different skills. Lizanne, for example, you can talk about synchronicity with nature and how we are in tune or not. And just because for me, it took a long time to understand what Rishad was talking about. It took me a long time to understand. And I think that if you get examples from nature, from music, from art, from a feeling, that makes things faster, no, Rishad? It makes things faster, yeah? So like Abdallah is like podcasts and stuff, like public speaking. You can just, just open a dialogue with people, because I see people being very, okay, they come for Rishad because they love Rishad, but he's bigger now than you're bigger than that now, coach. Okay, you're not just Rishad, all right? You're an idea. You have to become something. All right. So it's all about that. Like Mariam was about customer service. You always say about people being
huge. The significance
about
is
people.
huge. Look, can I stop you, Maria? I'll tell you why. Because don't apologize, please. I absolutely love what you're doing, and if you just can maybe record something on it, whatever it is, you lead with this and tell us what we need to do, because I think Maria has become coach's coach. Okay, great. Then do that. Yeah, no problem with that. So the whole idea is that we synchronize. What I'm saying, to me, my thinking is this: I'm the coach, you're the coach, whatever it is. I'm speaking from that same tonality and frequency. You guys align because you guys already recognize that frequency, and we gel together. Now, if we can somehow realize what the connection between me and you guys, and you guys and you guys, and all those people that you encounter that you love and you sync with, and you start picking it up on a tone basis, on the voice basis, and because the traditional thinking, which is another interesting thing, Maria, you have the ENTJ and the Myers-Briggs model and all these other kind of models, right? Even Carl Jung talks about all his different types of models as well, which are fine. But now this is a new type of synchronization. Imagine on relationships, you know, the Japanese have done this thing on blood types, that you have like an A and a B getting together and an O would be incompatible, and all these kind of strange correlations. It's a field of study that Maria is embarking on, and I want to expand on this together. So you guys are in the same vibe as me. That's why you and each other. So there's a unified connection. If we can somehow recognize that in tonality or frequency and all the rest of it, that'll be great. The reason I wanted to stop you, Maria, is because let's get started, and then what we're trying to do will find its way. And I promise you, we're going to pick up things that we didn't even know were part of what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, but my yes.
If I can just say, I need to leave, but there was one thing that I want to say before I leave. While I was doing my MBA at the business school here, there was some seminar that we had to go to, and there are guys from Google that are spending insane amounts of money on trying to do what you're trying to do, and they won't be able to do it because they're coming at it from the wrong angle. And what you are doing on that level of frequencies is it's huge from whichever facet that you want to look at it from. It's massive.
It may even become our coaching style in the future. Whatever it is, I think it's an idea born from a beautiful place, and let's explore it further. And all of us are part of this thing, and we are all going to participate in that. With that, so we can all say goodbye at the same time, guys. We'll take this further. Lovely to see you guys shining.
But say one thing. This is a simple idea. It's about connecting people. Never mind about the art. We'll do that later.
Yeah, exactly. We start off small and we'll see where it goes. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. Take care. Yeah, I can't do that. How do you do that? I don't know how to do that. But anyway, yeah, I'd rather do this. Yeah, they're much better. In our hearts. There we go. Bye, guys. Okay. There we go. There we go. I've done that for you.
Exactly. Thank you so much, everyone. Really, really, really.
Thank you for your beautiful energy as well.